Hi, Doc Martin for KRAZ TV and the Zero Channel. It's a new book review, and what a sweet book it is. Books from the library, reading who, what? It's called Clay, A Human History by Jennifer Lucy Allan. Oh, gotta love it. Here's her picture. Jennifer Lucy Allan is an author, journalist, and broadcaster with a PhD in foghorns. That's wonderful. She is the author of Foghorn's Lament, and she is a presenter on BBC Radio's 3 long-running music show, Late Junction, and presented Life, Death, and the Foghorn and O Yoko for BBC Radio 4. As a journalist, she has written on underground and experimental music for over 15 years and also co-ran the record labels ArcLight Editions and Good Energy Records. She is also an amateur potter. Well, from the amateur potter, actually, she does a little archaeology too, and I think she may have a degree in that, or a minor or something. But anyways, it's just about clay. It is a book from let's see, Pegasus Books, Clay, A Human History. A human history told through clay and how it has shaped us from ancient times to the present day. This book is a love letter to clay, the material that is at the beginning, middle, and end of all of our lives, that contains within it the eternal, the elemental, and the everyday. People who have been taking handfuls of earth and forming themselves into their own image. People have been taking handfuls of earth and forming them into their own image since human history began. Human forms are found everywhere that there was a ceramic tradition, and that there is a ceramic tradition everywhere where there is human activity. The clay these figures are made from was farmed in deep geological time. It is the material that God cast as the potter used to form Adam and Eve. Tomb paintings in Egypt show the god Khnum at a potter's wheel throwing a human. Humans have first recorded their own history on clay tablets, the shape of the characters influenced by the clay itself. The first love poem was inscribed on a clay tablet from a Sumerian bride to her king more than 4,000 years ago. Born out of desire to know and understand the mysteries of this material, the spiritual and practical applications of clay in both its micro and macro history. Clay, A Human History, is a book of wonder and insight, a hybrid of archaeology, history, and Allan's lived experience as an amateur potter. So yeah, she actually went to places. I mean, she's been all over the globe learning about this. She went to Japan, the United States. She's talked to museum people. She's been gifted great pieces by famous authors, famous potters, ceramicists, and she really got the practical way. She learned how to make tiles, like roofing tiles. She lives in England, but you know, England has some of the largest tile making and has been in production for hundreds of years around Stokes and all of that. So it's just a great history. And she took the bull by the horns on this book. It's a great book. It's almost seminal. And it's certainly a wonderful read. I could not put this book down. I had to dose it out to myself. So it has 15 chapters: mud, fire, figures, hands, wheels, food, words, color, sound, shape, walls, cities, space, death, and repair. Oh, it's just all over the place. She talks about the chemistry of clay. She's talked with NASA, and even got to learn to make Martian clay. And now they have found out that there had to be a lot of water to make clay because it's a breakdown of soils. And it's mostly aluminum silicates and a magnesium. She really gets into the porcelain. Porcelain was made by the Chinese, and they figured it out 500 years before anybody in Europe. And then people in Europe really tried as an alchemy test to really see if they could duplicate and make clay, and for many years they couldn't. The secret is kaolin. Kaolin and feldspars and all of those temps, they require a very high temperature, and it's a ceramic. Porcelain it's said it's just not taken out of the ground as a clay. It's actually made and mixed so that you have the kaolin and the other clays. Kaolin, I guess, is not a clay, but it's mixed with clay, and that's what makes it porcelain. And you know you have a great porcelain when you take it out and then you can ding, hit the side of it or tap it, and it rings like a bell. So thin it's almost translucent. It's almost clear when wrapped or rolled out thin and being formed. It's difficult to work on a wheel until you learn how to do it, and then it behaves. But regular clay behaves. You know, they're talking about people eating clay, and a lot of people, I guess it has, because you do need magnesium, and I take magnesium every day, that it breaks down. And they said even in times of scarcity, people do eat clay. And of course, you know, you can take some bentonite clays and stuff like that in your body. So it isn't that crazy or foreign of an idea to ingest clay to a point. It comes in so many colors, and it's low heat fired. It's all fired all the way up to 1300 Celsius, which is, you know, a couple thousand degrees. So it almost vitrifies, but doesn't. But I guess it does, vitrine. But I don't want to, you know, I read the book, and I don't want to get too wild off into it. But there's a thing when somebody thinks that they've read a book and can explain everything about it. It's called the illusion of explanatory depth. And I've been accused of that many times. But I have read a lot. And I hope you'd continue to read things, because this book, it's not a very big book, but it is chucky jam-packed. And she talks about all the different cultures and everybody that uses clay throughout the centuries, and it's just fascinating. And she said a lot of times, and most times, including like the terracotta warriors in China, where clay is always packed into the grave sites. And so they've learned more about culture, ancient cultures, from clay. So, and it probably goes back to 7,000 years that they've had some kinds of clay. And the goddess. Now, I did a book a long time ago, I think, on the goddess images of a person in Czechoslovakia and in that area, and I think that she's mentioned in this book. I could sit here and go through it, but I'd like for you to read the book. I mean, to tell you, it is so fascinating. And there's several methods. You can slab it, pinch it, pull it, and then, of course, then we use the wheel. And the secret to clay, when you're using a wheel, is to center it. Once you have it centered, then you can pretty much do with it what you want. Talking about some of the hazards of of clay when you're firing it. You have to be letting it dry, and it's pretty permanent. So once it's set in fire, then it's set in stone, as you could say. So I could go on and on, but anyway, I'll just leave you with read clay. It's a story about our human history. And of course, Jennifer Lucy Allan, someday I'd like to meet you as an author. She is such a great writer, and she's concise and to the point. And to the point of that, thanks for watching Carrie's TV, and get all of her books like we did from we got ours from the Tucson, Pima County Public Library. Thank you, and keep reading.